Logic, the Foundation of Mathematics by Daniel Drake. The purpose of this presentation is to present an argument for the importance of logic in the world, not just in mathematics, but in all STEM fields. First, we must note that this is a mathematics class, so the natural question is, how much mathematics do you need for a logic class? As it turns out, none. Anyone who is willing to put in the time can learn the fundamentals of logic. This is a fantastic argument for the subject. It is a good starting point for students, and it leads us to the question, why should students study logic? To understand and build theoretical systems, to sharpen creative and critical thinking, and because of its application in many STEM fields. Let's take a look at two examples of the applications of logic in non-mathematical situations. First, we'll see an example of the critical thinking from logic in software engineering, and then an example of the theoretical systems from logic in medicine. Software engineers are using logic when they design computer programs. If-else statements break the world up into two situations. If the assertion is true, do something. Else, do something else. In logic, we describe this as an assertion and that assertion's complement. The study of logic sharpens the mind. Students must be able to read, interpret, and act on the materials in the study of logic. This improves the student's ability to program and find errors in software. Extremely complex if-else statements are part of everyday life for people in software engineering. These can sometimes be simplified with knowledge of logic. When doctors diagnose disease, they're using logic. An easy example is the FAST acronym. If the patient's face is crooked, or if the patient's arms are not straight, or if the patient is slurring words, then that means that time is important. The patient is having a stroke. These can be represented F-A-S-T. Now the entire concept can be written F or A or S implies T. In medicine, doctors ask their patients to list their symptoms. The doctors then use these to narrow down the possible diseases by contradiction. If a person has nausea, the person could have anything, but a person with nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain is a likely candidate for malaria. If the person is confirmably not exposed to anything that could cause malaria, then by contradiction, the person must have something else. These are just two out of the modern fields in which logic plays a key role in day-to-day work. Clearly, logic is used in many fields, and this is why logic should be a required class for all STEM students. It is not knowing what "and" means that makes the difference here. It is having students figure out the puzzles without help that changes them. In conclusion, logic is important for three reasons. It teaches students how to build and understand theoretical systems. It teaches students how to be creative and critical in thought. It is a versatile subject, applicable in many different STEM fields. Thank you for your time and attention.